Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The chief is weighing in on this video of an officer punching a man in Greektown. Why he says he has serious concerns about it as an investigation is now underway.
A man in Sterling Heights pinned between thousands of pounds of concrete at the same business where two men were killed in a similar accident 2 years ago. Coming up, we have the very latest on that man's condition.
All right, Grant, we're going to begin, though, with breaking news. Tragedy unfolding in Superior Township where two teenagers have been killed in a rollover crash. Another person in that car was rushed to the hospital and now in critical condition.
This all happened this afternoon on Superior Road near Huron River Drive, and deputies say speed was indeed a factor. Mara McDonald is there live with more. Mara?
Kimberly, let me show you something. The Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department has shut down the road completely here at Superior on Huron River Drive. The accident is a substantial ways away from us at Superior and First. You can see the flashing lights, but I want to get to the aerials from Chopper 4 so you get an idea of what actually happened out here. The car that you see here that has been rolled over, according to the Sheriff's Department, was filled with 3 teenagers. 2 of those teenagers died at the scene. A third teenager had to be rushed to the hospital and is in critical condition at this point. Now, before it became a rollover accident, let me give you at least what the Sheriff's Department says is the preliminary situation here. The car the teens were in got into some kind of a fender bender accident further down on Superior. They did not stop at that fender bender. They kept on going, and the car that they are alleged to have hit tried to catch up to them. By the time that car caught up to them, you can see the aftermath. It was a rollover crash. Now, the Sheriff's Department initially thinks speed is a factor here. Clearly, there could be other factors here as well. But right now, Superior remains closed, not just at Huron River Drive, but all the way down to Getty's. So if this is part of your drive home, don't be expecting to get through here anytime soon. We are live in Superior Township right now. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Awful. Okay, Mara, thank you. Our other top story tonight, a worker rushed to the hospital after a large slab of granite fell on top of him.
This happened at the Stone Warehouse near 19 Mile and Van Dyke, and that is the same place where 2 people were crushed in an accident 2 years ago. Grant Herms live in Sterling Heights with more on how he's doing now. Grant.
Well, Devin, Kimberly, he is all right. He's at the hospital in serious but stable condition. Employees went back to work fairly quickly this afternoon. That incident that was very scary and thankfully not fatal, and at last check, not life-threatening. Emergency crews back out at the Stone Warehouse in Sterling Heights after a slab of stone slipped loose, falling on a worker who had only been on the job about a year. Employees say it was 2 of the wholesale granite and marble company's smaller sized slabs, still weighing in at about 1,000 pounds each. The slab falling on the man and pinning him upright to slabs behind him. Rescue crews having to use large airbags to lift the heavy concrete off his body.
The injury actually started around his abdomen area and then went down to his legs, so there could be a lot of internal bleeding with those types of injuries, both in the leg compartments and the abdominal compartment. So that definitely was an issue that we needed to deal with.
This accident bringing back memories of the tragedy 2 years ago at the same business, when 2 men were killed after what was described as a cascade of granite sliding off their base, crushing those 2 employees to death. The man hurt Monday afternoon was taken to the hospital in serious but stable condition. Now, back in 2019, Myosha did have to go through all this safety features and safety protocols here at Stone Warehouse. We're told by the fire department that their safety team, as well as Myosha, will likely be back out here again in the next few days. Back to you.
All right, Grant.
Now let's move to the coronavirus. Today, Beaumont Health is out with a new warning as COVID cases are steadily on the increase.
An expert there says this could be a disaster for Michigan as they push for all of us to take steps to stop it. Paula Tutman is live at Beaumont Hospital in Troy. And Paula, 2 major things here: mask wearing and vaccinations.
Absolutely. And listen, this doctor is basically saying you shouldn't need a mandate or rules to wear this. This is a very thin line between us and that virus, which is really gaining steam, and then a very thin needle. a shot. And he says time is running out for the unvaccinated to get vaccinated before this gets out of hand, and they don't have anything to battle it back for any of us. Possible disaster on the horizon. Those are the words of a Beaumont doctor who says he sees a deeply concerning uptick in COVID hospitalizations.
I think the potential exists for a huge disaster, and what do you want to call it? Surge 4, Surge 5? I mean, I've sort of lost count.
Dr. Joel Fishbane is the medical director for infectious prevention at Beaumont Grosse Pointe. He says currently in the Beaumont group, there are 64 patients hospitalized with COVID. 61 of them are uninoculated, which means they have not gotten any vaccinations against the virus. Another 3 have gotten the vaccine and the virus broke through.
Only 0.06% of our COVID cases are considered vaccine failures. So vaccination is still very, very good.
He talks about the Delta variant, and what he's seeing in terms of new cases is as concerning, if not more concerning, than what we experienced last year. When you factor in vaccine resistance, COVID fatigue, and the politicalization of mask wearing, and children heading back into the classroom.
Especially if you look at under 12-year-olds who are not eligible for the vaccine, the kids can bring it home. And then obviously, if you've got family members not vaccinated or family members who are vaccine failures, but you just don't know that, there could be a marked increase in cases. And don't forget the high risk categories of obesity, diabetes, age, et cetera. So the potential exists.
Yeah, you know, and I also asked the doctor if there was any medical reason people should not or can say that they cannot get this vaccine. And he said, other than an allergic reaction to something inside the processing of that vaccine, because remember, this is not live virus. So anything other than what's inside there, so not pregnancy, not fertility issues, not pre-existing conditions. Sorry about that. Easy for me to say. But he said none of those things should keep people from getting this vaccine, and the window is closing in order to get a hold of this Delta variant, which is very, very virulent, guys.
Okay, Paula, thank you. And nationally, the White House is considering whether it should issue new restrictions as the Delta variant spreads across the country.
Cases are doubling in more than 40 states. That includes Michigan. One of those states really hit badly right now. Louisiana just instituted an indoor mask mandate as its hospitals are filling with COVID patients.
Nobody had to die this week. Nobody, right? It's a preventable disease, and we missed out on the biggest prevention opportunity that we've ever had.
Meanwhile, the White House announcing 70% of American adults have gotten at least one vaccine nearly a month after the president's July 4th target for that. The White House also urging states to give out billions in COVID aid for Americans who have fallen behind on their rent. That after the nationwide ban on evictions ended over the weekend.
A stretch of I-75 in Oakland County will remain closed until Wednesday. The northbound lanes between I-696 and 12 Mile Road is closed for emergency repairs to a sinkhole there. That sinkhole formed Friday when MDOT crews were mining for a drainage tunnel. The northbound service drive is also closed in that area. There's no estimate on when it will reopen. Tonight, Detroit's interim chief says he has serious concerns about a video showing his officers assaulting a man over the weekend in Greektown.
This video shows an officer hitting a man in the face while working to break up a large brawl. Rod Maloney talked with Chief James White this afternoon. Rod, you also got your hands on some new video of what happened.
Right, we have a lot of late breaking developments in this, Devin. We have that new video. We'll show you that in a second. But we also just heard from Detroit Police Department and the chief's office that the officer involved in this punching has now been pulled off the street. He's going to be riding a desk until the Internal Affairs Department takes a look at this case very closely. And in the meantime, the chief says there could be criminal charges against that officer.
It looks bad.
That bad look coming from this video first appearing on social media on Saturday night. While the eye is drawn to the officer pointing, it's another officer behind him who actually lands the right-handed punch. The man in the Tigers jersey obviously so stunned he needed to be propped up by the officer who hit him as he sat in the middle of the street. Chief James White saying of this altercation and investigation.
I have some serious concerns as to how that was handled. We've come to expect our officers officers to de-escalate situations. I did not see de-escalation there. I did not see our training there.
There is business security, police body cam, and dash cam video to look at. After receiving that haymaker, the man hit remained seated, leaning on the officer's knees, and the chief says he was not arrested.
But I do have serious concerns.
For at least a year now, Greektown's weekend night crowds have occasionally turned violent, and the reason the officers were even there Saturday night was to break up a fight that wound up also on social media. But late this afternoon, another video of the scene, shot by another bystander, appears, and the man whom the officer punched is seen swinging at police at what appears to be an earlier moment in the evening.
The officer does deserve due process. We have to take some time and look at everything.
Now, the person who shot that video, the late video that we received, his name is Trey Kwan. We want to make sure we gave him credit for that. In the meantime, the chief says he is concerned specifically about that officer who threw the punch. Internal Affairs, again, investigating this entire situation. The chief also said that he expects the department to be transparent about this case, and there should be updates in the days to come. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
We will stay on until then. All right, Rod, much more to come on this Monday. Let's check in with Ben.
Devin and Kim, second day of August, and if this is what the month is going to look and feel like, I think a lot of us will take seconds and thirds. We'll see what our luck is about to change coming up.
Okay, Ben, and it really depends on the district. Ahead of the new school year, why COVID precautions are different all across the region, even after the CDC issued its new guidelines. Jamie.
It's a hot button issue downriver. City officials want to expand the Riverview landfill, but neighbors are saying no. I'll have all the details of a committee meeting next on Local 4.
And halfway through the Tokyo Games, let's take a look at our lineup for tonight. At 7, Jeopardy comes your way. Hope you'll be with us for the Ozone coming along at 7:30.
And at 8, primetime coverage begins of the Tokyo Summer Games. Then join us at 11:30 for Local 4 News. We'll be right back.